working. There it goes. And in case you didn't know, I don't know if you can hear all that background noise. Fortunately, I'll mute myself when Angel's presenting, but we do have the speakers from the past meetings on the YouTube channel. So I encourage you to check that out or share that if you would like. And I am very excited to introduce Angel Hanzik. She is the program director for Texas Senior Medicare Patrol. She is a proud alumna of the University of Houston with a bachelor's in sociology and is a certified nonprofit professional through the National Leadership Alliance. She's been helping Texans stop Medicare fraud since 2022. And in her free time, you can find her skating with her roller derby team. So Angel, before you get started, what's the name of your team and where can we watch?
I'm part of the Yellow Rose Roller Derby League here in Houston. So if y'all are ever out in Sugar Land, Texas, that's where we have our games.
Awesome. That's so fun. Okay, well, I am turning the virtual lectern over to you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for your introduction and thank you for having me here today. Let me just share my screen really quick and present. And can everybody see the PowerPoint? Well, I can't see anybody's faces now. But can someone verbally say yes or no if you see my screen?
Yes. We do.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, thank you so much. So as she said, I'm Angel Hanzik. I'm the program director for the Texas Senior Medicare Patrol, and our mission is all about preventing Medicare fraud. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about our program and what it is that we do. So to start, what is the Senior Medicare Patrol? A lot of folks have never even heard of the Senior Medicare Patrol before, which is completely understandable, right? But we are actually in every single state in the United States and the U.S. territories. So our program is specific to the state of Texas. We cover all of Texas from our office here in Houston. And what we do is we recruit and train volunteers and professionals such as yourselves about Medicare fraud and abuse so that they can go into their communities and try and mitigate some of the fraud that is happening. So what we also do is we are a reporting agency. So you can actually report intentional fraud and abuse to us. So call us, we build that case for Medicare. And then actually we send it to Medicare, but also FBI, the Attorney General, local police. It all just depends on the type of fraud that is happening and the size of the fraud that is happening. So we're basically a 911 dispatcher for Medicare fraud. So our mission here is to empower and assist Medicare beneficiaries, their families, and caregivers to prevent, detect, and report healthcare fraud, error, and abuse through outreach, counseling, and education. So that's a big mouthful to say that we talk about Medicare fraud all day, every day. So what is the impact of Medicare fraud? So actually, Medicare loses a ton of money every single year due to fraud, error, and abuse. And so does anybody have any idea how much money is actually lost to fraud, error, and abuse? Can y'all see that on my screen? Billions of dollars. Do we have a specific number?
60
yes,
billion.
we can see it.
Y'all can see it, you cheaters.
Let's say 60. There you go.
What
now
about now?
We can't see it. You fixed it.
Okay. Well, the big reveal is it's $60 billion. So it is $60 billion, and that's actually on the low end of the spectrum. We actually expect it to be anywhere up to $90 billion. So it's a ton of money that is lost. And this is coming from about 250,000 Medicare beneficiaries who have had their medical identities stolen, Okay, so someone has their Medicare number and is misusing it. So now, of course, this impacts everybody. So we really, really try to encourage people. Why do you care? Because it's our money, right? It's taxpayer dollars that are being lost. And it also puts the Medicare trust fund at risk. We want Medicare to stick around, right? So that we can get on Medicare one day, our children, our grandchildren, so they can all benefit from a system like this. And unfortunately, with so much money being lost, and now the baby boomers aging into Medicare, it makes a really unstable system. And then, of course, the people who are impacted the most are our Medicare beneficiaries. So with all the money that is lost, it actually raises their premiums. There's less money in the system for their benefits, and it can actually reduce the quality of treatment. Because if someone is willing to defraud you, what else are they willing to do, right? They may give you procedures, equipment, medication that you don't actually need in order to receive funding from Medicare. So now let's talk a little bit about the consequences of Medicare fraud, error, and abuse. So first up is medical identity theft. So just like our regular identity can be stolen, our social security number, right, to go take out loans or apply for jobs or file our taxes, our medical identity can be stolen. And someone can actually take your insurance information, your date of birth, your name, and start going to the doctor, getting services in your name. And now in your medical history, it will have their blood type, procedures that they have had, the equipment that they get in your name. And this can have a really big negative health impact on us, right? Because not only have they now taken those health services that we need, but they actually are having their health record put onto ours, right? So let's say we go in for some emergency surgery, we're in the ER, and now in our record, it says that we have had, you know, our appendix removed and we just had heart surgery, you know, last month, and that our blood type is A when our blood type is actually, you know, B negative. So it can have a really, really serious implication on our health. And also, it can cause a lot of personal financial losses. Okay, so just because they have taken that benefit and Medicare is paid for it doesn't mean that we don't now still need that service that has been taken from us. So now we have to pay out of pocket. Or if we have charges on our Medicare, you know, and Medicare doesn't fully cover, you know, this procedure or equipment that a scammer has gotten in our name, now that bill lands on our doorstep. Okay, so there's a lot of consequences related with our Medicare being defrauded. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about the differences between what fraud, error, and abuse actually is. So fraud, error, and abuse all make up waste in the Medicare system. That's where that $60 billion is coming from. But there are differences here. So first up, we have errors, right? So these are exactly what they sound like. They are unintentional mistakes, right? We're all people at the end of the day, and we may type in that billing code wrong. We might type in 123 instead of 1234. It happens. Okay, but abuse is whenever these errors become repetitive. Every single time that I type in this billing code, I type in 123. Okay, and so it's unintentional. I don't realize I'm doing it, but I still am abusing the system. And then, of course, fraud is what we think of whenever we think of scammers and people stealing our information. That is that intentional misuse of information to obtain payments or services. And this assumes criminal intent, right? So what are we actually doing at the Senior Medicare Patrol to combat this fraud, error, and abuse? So our main thing, like we said earlier, is education. So we try to teach people to protect themselves from fraud by doing 3 steps: preventing, detecting, and reporting healthcare fraud. Okay, so first step, we have prevention. Prevention is super, super important. The easiest way to handle Medicare fraud is to keep it from happening in the first place, right? So here are a few steps that we encourage folks to do in order to prevent that Medicare fraud from happening. First step is treating your Medicare card like you would treat a credit card, right? Not sharing that information with anybody. If someone came up to me and asked if they could borrow my credit card, I would say, are you crazy? There's no way. And we should be treating our insurance card the same. Also, encouraging folks to not give out your Medicare number to anyone except for a trusted doctor or other Medicare provider. Okay, so this actually comes up a lot at things like health fairs, right? There will be a lot of booths and people giving away products or services and asking for that Medicare number so that they can give you this free product or service. They are not a trusted provider. They're not your doctor. They don't know if you're actually eligible for this product or service. So we really encourage folks, do not give them away. Give away your Medicare numbers to these people. Also, not carrying around your Medicare card unless you know you're going to need it. This is very hard for a lot of people. They like having it on them. They say, you know, what if something happens? I'm in an accident, you know, I'm going to need my Medicare card. And we really try to encourage folks, leave that at home, keep it in a safe place, like where you would keep your Social Security card. And for the exact same reason why you wouldn't want to carry around your Social Security card, right? It just creates more risk of dropping it, somebody stealing it, seeing it in your wallet. So you can just leave that at home. If there is an accident or an emergency where you need care, legally they have to provide it to you, and you can share your Medicare number after the fact. Okay. Also, just being aware that Medicare is never going to call us or visit us to sell us anything ever. I hear people say all the time that they got a call from Medicare saying that they got overcharged last year and so they're going to get a refund, or Medicare is calling to check and see how their benefits are going, how their doctors are, if they're happy with their providers. Medicare does not do this. Medicare will never ever contact you. So anytime that we are getting a call from Medicare, we know for a fact that that is a scam. And if there's a representative coming to your house saying that they are Medicare, that is especially scary, especially fishy, and do not let them into your home. This was a bigger thing back before COVID, but it's always something to keep in mind. Also, offers for free medical services. Nothing is free. Right. I've never had a doctor tell me, oh, don't worry, you have this free benefit here. It's all going to be completely free. It's not free. Nothing is free. It may be covered by Medicare. It may be covered by your insurance, but they are not just handing them away like goodie bags, right? So please be careful and cautious of anything offered as free. Also, watching out for identity theft, the same sort of tactics that you employ to protect your Social Security number, you want to do that for your medical identity as well. And then also sharing this information, a really big part of preventing fraud is actually destigmatizing how people feel whenever they are scammed. People feel so embarrassed whenever they get scammed. They actually don't even want to report it. They don't want to tell anyone about it because they feel stupid or dumb, like they should have known better. But talking more about scams destigmatizes it. And then also it shares this information with people so that they are more scam savvy. So hopefully it doesn't happen to them. Okay, so that's all about prevention. So next step is detection, right? We prevented it. We did everything we could to keep it from happening, but how do we actually know if our Medicare is being defrauded? And so this is where we tell people detect. So first up, we really encourage folks to review their Medicare summary notices or their explanation of benefits often. A lot of people don't do this. They'll get their insurance statements, monthly or every 3 months, and they'll actually throw it away. They won't even look at it. They say, oh, I don't know what any of that means. I don't care about it. But they should be reviewing it, because on here, it will tell you everything that your Medicare has been charged for, right? Or has been used for. So even if it is being, your Medicare number has been stolen, it's being fraudulently used, it will show up on your Medicare summary notice. So first up, we want to be looking on there for any services we did not receive, right? We see something on there that says, a blood test whenever we never got one. Next up is being double billed or being charged multiple times for the same service. This one is super, super common. And finally, any services that were not actually ordered by your doctor. Okay, so you want to be reviewing this often. If you don't have access to your Medicare summary notice or your explanation of benefits, let's say you lost it, you threw it away, you don't know where it is, you moved, it hasn't been shown up to your house, you can actually access all of this information on Medicare.gov. So all of your Medicare summary notices and explanation of benefits will actually be there. So you'll have access to it online. And we actually offer a healthcare tracker. It is a personal journal that people can fill in what happens at their healthcare appointments so that whenever they do get their Medicare summary notice or a bill in the mail, they can go back and look in their healthcare tracker and say, okay, on January 9th, I got one blood test and I got this prescription, but I'm being charged for, 4 other services. That obviously did not happen. So you're able to cross-reference. So that is a free tool that we provide to folks. We offer them in multiple languages and we mail them out all across Texas. So if you believe that this is something that would really benefit your clientele or the folks that you work with, please let us know and we're more than happy to send those out. And finally, okay, we've prevented all that we can. We've detected something. Now, what do we do? Okay, we want to report it. We want to see something, we say something. So first thing you want to do is actually call your provider. You see you got charged for 3 blood tests. You want to call up your doctor and say, hey, Dr. Jones, what is this? This looks weird, right? Because like I said earlier, it may be an error. Okay. So you call your doctor and they say, oops, that's our bad. Let's go ahead and take that off. That was an accident. Okay. Or they may say, oh, don't worry about it. Medicare already paid for it, or that's just how we do it here. It's no big deal. You didn't have to pay anything. So now things are getting a little bit more suspicious, right? So go ahead, gather all the information that you have, your healthcare tracker, right? Your Medicare summary notices, any bills that you may have. Gather all that information and call the Texas Senior Medicare Patrol. So that is us, okay? We have a completely free and confidential hotline where you can actually call and report these things. So you let us know, and then we actually build that case for Medicare. We sit down, we counsel you through it, and we send that over to Medicare and then any other fraud control units that we need to. So like I said earlier, that could go anywhere from local law enforcement all the way up to the FBI. Okay. And it doesn't just have to be that you know that you were defrauded. If you're unsure of what this is, you don't know how to read your Medicare summary notice, you don't know what these charges is, you just can't decipher it. We actually can walk people through that and help them read their Medicare summary notice. Okay. So that is a little bit about what we do here at the Texas Senior Medicare Patrol. Again, my name is Angel Hanzik. I'm the program director here. I have my contact number here as well as my email and our hotline number. So you are welcome to contact us at any time. If anybody has any questions, I can go ahead and stop sharing my screen and answer those. And thank y'all so much for y'all's time.
Thank you, Angel. All right. Anyone have any thoughts, questions? Raise your hand or just speak on up.
Yeah, this is Elva. And it looks like your email address is Better Business Bureau, Houston. So
Yes.
is Senior Medicare Patrol part of Better Business Bureau?
Yes, so the Senior Medicare Patrol is a program that lives in the Better Business Bureau's Education Foundation here in Houston. So even though they just cover the Houston area, we cover the entire state of Texas. Yeah, great catch.
I took the Senior Medicare Patrol training about 10 years ago. And
oh, really?
Yeah. And so, I've always been diligent about checking my EOBs and so on and so forth. But I don't use healthcare much, so it, but I am going to reach out and ask you to present to a different group that I lead called Ambassadors for Aging Well. So I was jotting down your email address. I couldn't get your phone number down though, 713 something.
Here, I'll go ahead and send that in the chat right now. My email and my phone number.
Great, thank you.
But yes, one, we are always looking for volunteers. So if you would like to volunteer, that would be great. Anybody is welcome. We also do partnerships with organizations. So if you feel like you are reaching a lot of Medicare beneficiaries through the work that you do, we do offer stipends based on the amount of work that you do. And we train your staff completely for free. And it really, really helps us get in different areas of Houston. I mean, different areas of Texas, because like I said, we're just here in Houston.
Good. I see my buddy Steve Catton is here, a lawyer, a local lawyer in Fort Worth, elder lawyer. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Elva.
All right. Any other thoughts? Anybody surprised at the information or learned anything new? Let's see. Brad says, how frequently do you find Medicare fraud to be associated with other kinds of elder fraud?
So that's a really good question. I would say pretty often. A lot of times we have to work with multiple agencies to deal with one single case. A lot of times we have to reach out to APS to deal with the cases that we're seeing, because it may also be that the children of the beneficiary are abusing the parent and stealing their, their social security checks and misusing their information. So it's a lot of crossover. And also, I mean, statistics show if you're scammed once, it's very, very likely that you're going to be scammed again. And so you get scammed once and then you actually just kind of become on this repeat list. So it's very, very often, Michael.
Right. Good question. All right.
So $60 billion in fraud. I mean, where are the auditors? I mean, where are the regulators? Why does it get so out of control? I've been shocked at how many providers actually fraudulently charge Medicare, even in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Only the most egregious cases reach the headlines, but when they do, I mean, I always hope they're going to jail.
Right, fingers crossed. I would say actually one of the biggest reasons is because Medicare does not have a system to screen what is being sent over into them, right? So if it checks all the boxes, all those claims just go straight through. And it's just approved. There's not a system in place on Medicare's side that actually checks that. And so that's why we really encourage people, you have to read your Medicare summary notices, because no one else is looking at that information for you. We are our only line of defense, is ourselves.
Wow.
Wow.
And then
That's surprising. Yeah, Shirley, go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you. Will you be presenting other information like about the romance scams and things like that as well, or touch on that, or because there's a lot of that going on?
Yeah, most definitely.
Question for Dana, right? Rather than Angel.
Yeah, we've had some other presentations about other types of scams. I don't know if you were on when I mentioned our YouTube channel has the speakers videos now from last February through December. So you can, there's one from Jamie Palmer and one from Jeff Prater. I think that was in May and June, I believe. And you can, and that information is in those presentations. And I'm sure we'll have some more like that in the future. And then at our summit in June of 2025.
Thank you, Dana.
And Dana, there's
You're
also
so
a meeting
welcome.
of A&E coming up also.
What's
You know,
A&E?
oh, help me, somebody. It's led by the Attorney General of Texas. And it stands for abuse, neglect, and exploitation of elders. And there's a meeting coming up, and it's usually in Grand Prairie for the DFW area.
Oh,
And
thank you. I was not aware. I'll have to look into that. I
I
appreciate
can
it.
send it to you, Dana.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Yep, I'm going to
And-
be out of town when it happens.
I see. Okay, great. Alyssa, good to see you. You have a question or comment?
Yes, I'm Alyssa Deaton from Meals on Wheels of Tarrant County. And I just wanted to say a thank you to Angel because the Better Business Bureau does a lot for our homebound clients. And actually people from the Better Business Bureau Foundation were at the Forest Hill Adult Activity Center today. So I just want to say thank you so much. We appreciate all that you do for us. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, what a small world. Yay. I'm so glad that you're on this call. Thank you, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Hi, Dana. Kelly with the Federal Trade Commission. For
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
For the question that came up regarding when you can hear more about romance scams and other issues surrounding identity theft and scams, I wanted to bring up 2 opportunities with the Federal Trade Commission. That will be our Identity Theft Awareness Week, actually starts January 27th through the 30th or 31st. I have to double check what that end date is. But if you go to our website at ftc.gov/identity theft Awareness Week, you will get all of these different links that will let you know where you can tune in order to get information regarding all types of identity theft. And this year we have it in multiple languages. The second opportunity to get more information, to see more presentations, to participate in these weeks that we have will be National Consumer Protection Week, which will be the first week in March. That, as you may guess, is ftc.gov/National Consumer Protection Week. At the end of the day, you'll be able to see where we're going to be doing presentations. If we're doing something like a webinar, podcast, or what have you, you'll be able to tune in and circulate that to your folks that you have contact with. As well, during those weeks, we are heavy and excited about joining any of you to do presentations, and just reach out to us and let us know.
Excellent. Thank you, Kelly. And we look forward to your presentation in February for our monthly meeting.
I am looking forward to it too, Dana. Thank you.
Yeah. And Shirley, another comment or question?
Yeah, just another comment, my own experience. So also on the same vein, the Texas State Securities Board does a really nice book every year that you can order for free. And it talks about like just kind of financial planning and scams and just it's through the Securities Act and Board. And just a really good, if you go to their website, Texas State Securities Board, you can find a lot of information there as well. So just another option. I get that book free every year myself. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Appreciate that tip. Anyone else? All right. Thank you again, Angel. Really appreciate it. And thank you everyone who had questions and comments and resources. This is why we meet, so we can share this important and kind of scattered information. All right. And I have to mention, I do have somebody doing some construction in my house, so hopefully it's not too loud. I will continue with the agenda and want to say that I shared the meeting minutes from December, or meeting notes, maybe a little bit more accurate, and we will accept those unless there are any corrections or any objections. Anyone? Nope. Okay, moving on. We need to start doing some year 2 and year 3 planning. The way that's working right now is the committees are looking at their aims and goals for last year and updating and editing as needed. So if you're on a committee, be sure to either comment to the emails or attend the meetings to participate and contribute to the planning. The committees could always use more help, and I know we've had a lot of people join since the last time I did a committee recruitment. I know there have been some of you that, like Steve, who volunteered. We haven't had the meetings yet, but you will hear from me shortly. And any other people who would like to participate in the committees, please email me to sign up. We have 4 committees: a collaboration committee, professional education committee, older adult education and services, and a resources/sustainability committee. And I am happy to answer any questions, or if you'd like to join us as a guest, you are welcome to reach out and let me know which committees you'd like to investigate, or I can send you more information. Just respond to my email. The more people that help, the lighter the load. And related to committees, the collaboration committee has put together the flyer, which I've shared on previous calls. We do have a couple of connections now to the native tribes. I believe I saw some names from either the Kickapoo or the Isleta del Pueblo. To anyone on the call want to introduce themselves from our communities in Texas? If you're on,
Hi,
not to put you in spot, but
can you
go
hear
ahead.
me?
Sorry,
My
go
name
ahead.
is Rosemary. I'm the medical social worker for Isleta del Sur Pueblo. We are located in El Paso, Texas.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us. We're especially happy to have everyone participating. And again, I apologize for the background noise if you can hear that. And then we're also going to work on a dashboard map for tracking our membership and participation, as well as a roster directory for connecting, tracking, and expanding the coalition. So I'll be looking for physical addresses. Everything I've done in the past has been related to email addresses, but if we want to make sure we're covering the state, I actually need to know where everybody is. So look for an email requesting that information, and I will color in all of our regions with our number of members. So it'll be a dashboard that we can track and use in the future. Our professional education group is working on the summit program, and I shared that draft in the email reminder. So you can see that, as well as the sponsorship menu, and monthly speakers is also what the professional education group is working on. We have the older adult education and services committee, who created the Stop the Stigma campaign, which, Angel, I know you mentioned the stigma of reporting. That's something that we also noticed and want to attempt to remove that stigma of reporting. And also they are working on a speaker bureau and a reporting folding wallet card. And then the resources sustainability. Encourage you to join on social media I have the links in the agenda. We are slowly increasing our numbers. We added a couple to our Facebook following and one to our LinkedIn following, which is exciting. We have the summit June 11th. It'll be at Alina Pope in Fort Worth, and encourage you to spread the word. And if you have speakers or recommendations, let us know, let me know, and I'll let the program committee know. Again, the program was attached to the meeting and the sponsorship menu, and early bird registration is actually now available. You can click on that link in the agenda and you can register for the summit. It's the early bird through February 28th. Any thoughts, questions so far? Any committee questions? Anybody want to comment on participating on a committee?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the capacity for the summit? I mean, how many folks are you anticipating and how big can it get?
That is a crystal ball type of question. I unfortunately I don't have a crystal ball, but we are. I mean, really, my personal goal is 100, but that may be overreaching a little bit. So maybe somewhere in the upper half of, the 50 to 100 range is probably likely.
What's the capacity of
The actual capacity? I think it's maybe 150. So seats are actually limited.
What is the fee to attend?
The early bird fee is $80 and regular registration is $100. And we are hoping to have representation from around the state as presenters as well as participants. There will also be a virtual option, but I think everybody's going to get the most bang for their buck by being there in person. But we'll try to make it accessible and meaningful to those who participate virtually as well. So it's our, our first ever. Let's see. Oh, I missed the question. What did it say? Our vendor table. Yes, we are going to have opportunity for vendor tables. And Shirley.
Yes, could you say that price again? It was 80 for a
Until
single
February 28th. And then 100 until I can't remember the exact date, maybe the end of May, and then 120 after that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And what's
Okay.
included, Dana?
Sorry?
Are meals included?
Put me on the spot.
Lunch will be included, right?
We're working on sponsorship for lunch and food, so that is important to find those sponsors and the registration so that we can provide food. The intent is to provide food and refreshments. However, the federal funding that we've received for this project, we are unable to provide food. So, so the financial sponsorship piece is super important. Was there another question? I think I saw something in the chat. Vendors need to pay registration fee. There's on the sponsorship menu, there's actually a vendor fee / registration fee combined. And I will pull that up. Let's see. Since we're talking about it. Share. So the exhibit table with 2 chairs, $200, and it includes the exhibit table and should have a conference registration included. It doesn't have that though. But yeah, the exhibit table will include a registration. Glad you asked, and I had to look, so. That was.
I think I snoozed. Where is the venue? Where is the summit to be held? I
In
think I
Fort Worth.
snoozed.
In
Okay.
Fort Worth at Lena Pope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments? I'll pull up the program too. Share. We also intend to include CEUs. There may be a fee associated with that. As we discussed, there will be a limited space since there's, only so much space there, and sponsorship and booths. We will have a keynote with the subject of storytelling, justice for older victims of financial exploitation. Cover awareness, research on predictors or red flags, prevention and post-exploitation support, and reporting. Awareness about the population in Texas, cultural demographics, and that impact on serving. Prevention, the interactive session, this will be during the lunchtime, and working on creating multidisciplinary task forces, at least planting the seed, overcoming silos, and what the local chapters and regions can do together. The prevention ongoing resources, coordinating locally, that'll be kind of extending the overcoming silos section, and then 10 tips on prosecuting. That is the draft program. We're still working on it. And then if you know of any spectacular presenters on any of these topics, please let us know. And finally, legislative priorities. I've been researching, looking for what the others in the space, the elder justice space, are doing. Leading Edge is the one, I guess, that coordinates the Senior Day at the Capitol. That's what I've been able to learn. February 5th. And they have multiple priorities. However, the one I felt most applied to what we do is strengthening the long-term care workforce and protecting the most vulnerable Texans. Senior Source, elder financial abuse protections. Texas Appleseed, enhanced tools for survivors of domestic violence to recover from financial abuse, and adopting new consumer protections to address frauds and scams related to solar panels. AARP, prevent and fight elder exploitation and fraud. And I looked for Texas overhead legislature. I don't think they have their 89th session on their website. So I reached out to Pat Gleason when I didn't hear back yet. And our next meeting, as alluded to earlier, is Kelly Slaughter from the Federal Trade Commission. And any thoughts or questions so far? We're making good time. I think you guys might get a few minutes back of the hour.
Before
Any
we
questions?
close out, I wanted to just do a shout out to the person from Isleta. I graduated from high school in El Paso, and I used to play basketball against Isleta High School. And so hello. And also, I'm wondering if Lynn Scott had cataract surgery. I've never seen you without glasses, and I'm scheduled for cataract surgery. And I just wondered if,
I did
ah,
in September
yeah.
and October.
And everything is good. You're glad you had it done.
Oh, very good. And I did the upgrade. Obviously,
Oh,
you don't have to wear glasses.
okay. You got the multifocal lens then.
I did,
Oh, okay.
and I don't regret it. You know, I thought, why not just get it all done all at one time?
Got it.
Right. There you go. Okay, Shirley, you have a question or comment? Shirley, are you speaking? You're muted.
Yes, it's just a comment. I noticed there is a participant on this group that I haven't seen, that I've known for, gosh, almost 30 years. And she's on the meeting, but I don't know. I don't want to, put her on the spot. So I'll just say, I'll send her an email. I haven't seen her for a little bit of time. And I just noticed she was on this group. So we used to work together many years ago. So anyways,
Awesome.
kind of neat who you meet full circle.
Absolutely. And again, to kind of put a bow on what you were just saying there, how it is a small world and how this coalition is designed to work together and make connections and address financial exploitation of older adults. It's especially important for you guys to respond when I request your information to include in a roster or directory of the coalition. And that way everybody can reach out to everybody if they have needs or questions. So be on the lookout for that over the next few weeks. And finally, the new business that I wanted to mention is that starting in February, I would like to begin a new member or a orientation type of intro into the monthly meeting call. So if someone feels like they need an orientation or would like to welcome new members, you are all invited to and welcome to attend starting at 1:30 right before our meeting in February. And that is all I have. Any questions about anything covered in the meeting or anything for our speaker today? Awesome. Well, I
I
appreciate.
just wanted to give some kudos in case people are not aware of seniorplanet.org, which I have taken 40 over the last 2 months, 40 of their tech classes. Some of them are very introductory things. And anyway, at seniorplanet.org, you can go to their online classes. It's all free for seniors. And and they also run a tech hotline that anybody can call, a toll-free number, and they'll help you with any kind of Apple products or Androids or PCs. And it's just something that I think a lot of seniors are not aware of. I did not know about it. It's sponsored by AARP, and it used to be called OATS, Older Adults Technology Services or something, but now it's seniorplanet.org for anybody that you know that might struggle with technology, AI included, artificial intelligence, lot of information, free. That's all.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Wonderful. Well, I appreciate you all, and I'm available to you all, so feel free to reach out via email with questions, concerns, comments, ideas, and you guys have 10 minutes back to your day. Stay warm and enjoy whatever precipitation we may or may not get tomorrow.
Thank you, Dana.
Thanks. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.